we're going to add a texture. Okay, the texture is where we have them hidden in a secret space. We're going to go to Bridge. We're going to use Bridge for this. So if you go over to your dock, click on Bridge. Oh, but son of a gun, look at it, right? Is right there. Now, click on Computer. When this comes up, you may have to click on several little permission things and just hit OK on all of them. It gives it permission to access different parts of the hard drive. So, click on Computer, and you're going to go to, it'll be the media drive. So it'll be orange. So the orange one, double click on it. And then you'll see something like this. And what you're going to do when they come for you, bad goyles, bad goyles, bad boys. Okay, you're going to grab the Textures menu or folder. So Textures will be in there somewhere. Then you're going to click on it, you can drag it over here to the favorites. I'm going to click, hold, and drag Textures over here. So then the Textures will be a favorite and won't have to go searching for it every time. So click on there, and you can go texture shopping, because we're going to put a texture on top of this little guy there. So broken class, kind of fun. Abstract. Now if you click on texture, a picture, little thumbnail here, and then you hit the space bar, it'll full screen it. So you can space bar, then kind of use your arrow key to go through them. Okay, oh, that's kind of interesting. Kind of liking this, that's cool. All right, so maybe I'm not feeling these, so then I'll use this little back arrow. And I'm gonna just go over to grunge, you know, cause, and then it opens up all these textures we have here. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of, ooh. Maybe I'll go with more of metal or something like that. Stone. Oh, what's this? Concrete. That's kind of concrete. What's this? That's kind of cool. Maybe is there something with more cracks or things like that? So we're texture shopping, right? We're kind of going through, ooh, cracky crack. Ah, that's what I wanted. Okay, so when you find the texture you absolutely adore, then we can go ahead and drag it. Just click, hold, and drag it over. You get the green plus sign, and Lego your ego. Okay, so now I don't want it back there. I want it in front of her. It's going to cover her. So I'm going to click right here, click, hold, and drag it up, that layer, and put it on top. So we just want to put it up there. Now, what you're going to have to do is we're going to have to rotate and do a couple of things. So go ahead up here, click on the Move tool, and make sure Show Transform controls are turned on. Otherwise, you will not be able to see these and you won't be able to do what we're going to do. I know. That would be so sad. Now I want to rotate this so it kind of goes the same aspect ratio as the picture. And the way you rotate it, you bring your cursor, we have the Move tool, you bring your cursor over the corner and it gives you that little curved arrow. Okay. This laptop has a wandering, oh, this is Apple Mouse. Okay, that's the wanderingness of it. Okay, so we're going to go over the edge here. It gives you the curved arrow. Now, to have it snap in increments, I'm going to hold Shift, and then if I just pull that down, see, it snaps. And that way you'll be able to get it perfectly up and down. Okay, now it's up and down. That's a technical art term. All right, and I'll make it a little bigger here, drag from there. And this might end up being the same aspect ratio, so cool. But if it's not, you can stretch it. If you're holding Shift, it will stretch it or squish it. So I'm just gonna stretch this down. You don't have to worry too much about distorting a texture because it's a texture. And distortion is fine. All right, so we have that. Now I'm going to hit this little check box or check mark up here in the top options bar there. I'm going to commit. Yes, you heard me. Commit, would you? Would you, doggone it? Okay. So now it's hard to see the person. Little tough to see it. So what I'm going to do is lower the opacity right up here. I'm going to click there and lower the opacity, maybe 70, 60, somewhere around there. Yeah, 60-ish. Okay. It's not an exact science. Okay. I'll zoom back out. Now I'm going to audition blend modes. So we have that concrete layer or whatever thing you chose selected. Right here where it says normal. That's like you. Haha. Maybe not exactly like you. Okay. And as you go down, it's going to preview what the blend mode will look like. That's kind of crazy, but I actually am going to want it more on the background. So that's not going to do it. Let's see what lighting looks like. Okay. That's not too bad. What did multiply look like? No. These change depending on the colors in your picture. So I'm going to try overlay, see what that looks like. It looks pretty good. Overlay and soft light are very commonly used blend modes. So let's see overlay. Kind of groovy. I kind of feel that. Let's see what hard light is. Oh, look at that. Hard light is sassy. Okay, vivid light. Ooh, look at that. Then you go down, cruise down. That may be a little extreme. And there it's perfect. So pretty. Okay, go down. And you're just looking through these. Okay, I think I'm starting to feel soft light. That might do it. Takes on the beautiful color of the background. See that? You see how the background now kind of has a whole different vibe. It's got a different vibe, man. All right, so now I want to take it off of the person a little bit, right? Right. That's what we want to do. Okay, so an easy way to do that is I want to leave it on the background because it looks kind of cool and groovy, all right? And so when you have a selection like that, you have a very distinct thing there. If you hold Command and click on the mask of the portrait layer, click on that, it loads that as a selection. I know you're probably freaking out right now. What? That is crazy. What did you do, man? Okay, so now, you know what? We're going to do that in a second. We're going to have to deselect that now. I know. Put you through all of this. Let's add a mask to the concrete layer first. So you add a mask down here at the bottom. Looks like a little Japanese flag. Oh yeah. Right there, you click on that, and that's adding a mask to this texture layer. Texture layer. Hey, layer. You know layer. Okay, now if we command click on this, it'll load that selection. Now we can go up here. Go up here. Okay, we're going to go up yonder. We have that selected. And let me zoom this rascal back out there. Rascal back. Okay. We have that mask selected. And now we're going to paint, but we're going to paint with about a 50% opacity. Yep, you heard me. Paint with 50% opacity. Opacitaceous. We're going to use our opacitaceous brush facility. So, you hit B to get the brush. Okay, B on the keyboard just all by itself. Now we're gonna make this super soft. Okay, right now it's a hard. It's got a 58 or whatever. So I'm gonna go to 0% hardness is 100% soft. Oh yeah, you heard me. Okay, so now to get off there, we're gonna hit return or enter. Okay, now we want to make that brush a little bigger because this is so small it's silly. So the bracket key right next to P, hit one of them or the other one and you'll see what it does. Now we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Bigger there. We're going to make it a bit bigger, I tell ya. Alrighty. So now the opacity of the brush. The big trick on this, so the opacity, don't click on it or anything like that. Press 5 on your keyboard. What? I know. It's so crazy. Okay, so the opacity 50%. So now when we paint, it's only going to paint at 50%. But we have to make sure black is our foreground color. Right here with the color picker. Okay, if you hit D, it will give you your default colors. All right, and then you can hit this little rascal here to swap them, or if you press X on the keyboard, it will do the same thing. See, it switches from background to foreground. Just hitting X on the keyboard. So now I want black, and it's 50% opacity. Now I'm just gonna kind of click on there and paint here, and takes it off a little at a time. So mainly off some of the skin in that. If everybody want to leave a little bit on there, maybe not. It's up to you. Okay, oops, got a little crack in her belly. Crack belly. Okay. Let's see, maybe a little bit off there. A little bit off there, a little bit off there. Okay, a little off, little off there. Okay, so you can see my mask looks like up here. Oops. See, it looks a little mottled like that, so left a little of that texture on there. Okay, so that's cool. Now I'm gonna press Command or Control D. We'll deselect that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And the edges, see, the edges now aren't so offensive. They don't look so funky as we add to it. Now, I'm going to add a paper texture on here as well. Maybe, ooh, maybe some writing. That would be sassy. I'm not feeling this texture anymore. But, hey, whatever. Okay, let's see now. Grunge. There's all that grunge stuff. Yeah, I like something like that a little bit better. If I could just swap it out. Probably could. Oh, you know what? I totally can. Okay. So, that's not rocking my soul. Maybe, I tell you, it's so hard to choose sometimes. Maybe like that, maybe like that, maybe like that. Ooh. Oh, we'll wait until I put another one on there. So what I'm going to do over here is go back to the folders. Grunge, paper, written words. So these are here. These are here. Nope, not that one, not that one. So I just hit the space bar and wait. Oh, hello. Oh, that's actually kind of crazy. Oh, that's actually what I wanted originally. That's gonna look mo better. All right, so I'm gonna go and drag this over here, and you can play with textures, of course, because textures are meant to be played with. Now I'm gonna rotate this. So I'm gonna hold Shift and rotate it. Ping, 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 ping. I'm gonna make it bigger. Put that there. And like that. So now, if you don't have these textures, you can go shoot some textures. Not with a gun. Oh my gosh, you're so like that way. Okay, so now the blend mode I used on this was soft light. So let me try soft light on this. Okay, soft light. Now, I want to use the same mask. So, oh, this looks so much better. Oh, I like that with that. Actually, maybe this is a nice combination. Okay, so now I'm going to put this mask on this layer. I'm going to hold Option. So right here, I'm holding Option and then just drag the mask. It'll make a copy and put it on there. So that sort of takes it off. Let me Command Z. See, I kind of like that. Let me lower the opacity of that. The texture looks kind of good on her. This is not looking too bad. Okay, I might add one more texture to it. That's totally up to you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a mask on there, and then I'm just going to freehand it. So I'll maybe take some off of her face. So just have that mask there. Have my soft edge brush, 50%, and let me just take a little bit off. Something like that. Leave it on that part of her Okay. Maybe I'll hit X and paint a little bit more back in. Okay. So I just changed the direction there. Okay, so that's looking good. All right, and I think it needs some text. Let's see the concrete layer. Maybe lower the opacity of that. Oh, that looks kind of groovy, man. It looks a little bit groovy, you know, just a tad bit groovy. That's groovy, man. Okay, I'm feeling that. That's kind of good. Love the yellows and greens and browns and stuff in there. Hit Command S, make sure it's saved. Because, you know, in case of a electromagnetic pulse bomb goes off, your artwork will be saved. I'm going to actually get a little crazy here. You don't have to do this, but I'm just kind of feeling it. So I'm going to go over here to written word and pages and grab, what does this say? Oh, no, I don't want that. I want some nice cursive. Whoa, that is some crazy stuff. Looks good. What is this one? Saturday Meadows, sun-shaped. Okay, 1,000. That's nice. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. Hey, look at that. Fit right on there. Okay, so now I will just... Sometimes you might not want to distort text, but you may want to, and it's totally fine. It's up to you. Maybe I'll make this bigger, just like Who's Your Daddy bigger. Oh, I think is going to be better. Oh, okay, so now it has these lines there. Hit the little checkbox. Now I'm going to find myself a sassy blend mode. Let's see, going down here, nothing. Okay, that's not quite. I want a little more than that on there. Okay, going here. Soft light, it does cool stuff in the skin there. Let's see how it reacts to the background. Oh, what have we got here? Subtract. Maybe a little too much, so maybe I will go to the soft light. That's your soft light. Down, lower that opacity a little bit, and this, like, maybe quite a bit on this one because the text is just kind of a hint of writing on there. It looks kind of cool. All right, so now we go ahead and I will add this mask to it. See how that looks. So now I just hold Option and I'm going to drag this mask to that top layer. And yes, I think we're rock solid, Daddy-o. Okay. Well, alrighty then. Okay, it's saving it. Okay, now this is good for the Photoshop part, what they call heavy lifting. That is done there. So now we're going to pop back over to Lightroom and we're going to finish it up in Lightroom. So Command S, and what I can just do is click on Lightroom, and what the hey, look at that. It's right there. Okay, that's the round trip part where it saves it. This is the original, and now this is what we have. Okay, so now we're going to do some photo editing on this. Because it's a new file, it's a PSD file or a TIFF, it gives you all fresh adjustments. Now we're going to just do photo stuff. So we're going to do that blacks adjustment there. So I can click on there and move that over a little bit so we get a taste of black in there. Now the whites, we're going to bring that over. Still that elbow or shoulder. Okay, so we'll not do that. I'm going to bring, oh, there we go. I'm going to just bring the volume, the exposure volume down a little bit so it gets a little more moody there. Okay, now the color, I can play with that. That's a little crazy. She's Ice Queen. That reminds me of ice cream, which is something we love to eat. Okay, maybe I'll bring down the vibrance, which is part of saturation. Bring that down a little bit like that. Okay, so we just play around in here and get it looking like you like it. Maybe I'll bump the shadows so we get detail in the shadow areas and bring this down a little bit more even. Okay, that's looking Gouda. Now, I'm going to go down and we're going to use the effects. We're going to put a little vignette on there. This can help us focus on the subject. So now we're bringing the vignette. That's a little too much, so bring that. Just darken those edges a little bit. The midpoint, you bring that in, brings the midpoint in. Up the feather a little bit. And one way to check before and after of what you just did is these little things here. So click on that. Maybe a little too much on her face there. Okay. And then we want the focus to be on her face. So we go to this little masking situation here and we use the radial gradient. In the version before this, it's right up here, the radial gradient. So we can click on that. And then you just click and drag. Oh, look at that. That does not look like this in the older version. So that, but it works the same. Okay. I'm going to need to invert this. So up here on this version, the other version it's down at the bottom. And it looks a little bit different. So I'm going to invert it. And let's see. There we go. So now it'll affect the outside when it's inverted. Okay. So I'll bring that down a little bit more. Okay. That's got some sass to it. Now if I wanted to, I could lower the saturation on that to bring take a little of the color out there. All right, that looks pretty okay. Let's see if there is here's our little guy right here. Okay. Here, okay. All right. I like it a little better without it. Okay, so we won't use it on this one. Don't really need it. All right, now we can, if you click on that again, it should go back into the world of awesomeness over here. Now, the color stuff's not really working. This down here is not really rocking me. So I'm gonna do an 8.5 by 11 crop because that's the paper we have to print on. So if we do that, now, right here, the little crop tool there. Original. Now we're going to go over here to 8.5 by 11. Boom. Now, we can move that up a little bit. Maybe we'll bring that up right above the tome level. Okay, I think that'll be a little nicer situation there. Alrighty then. So click on done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that works better. Oh yeah. Bright shoulders though. So we may have to go ahead and use this after all, just to bring down the brightness of the shoulders. Let's see, I clicked on that and I should be able to click here and drag. Create new mask, okay. Okay, this is a new version, I've never used it before. Is it? Oh, okay, we still have that one. Okay, so that brings that down a little bit more. That's problematic, but oh, that's the shade umbrella we used did not cover that. Okay, maybe if I bring down the highlights, because that it brings all that down. We don't want to jack it up too much. Okay. Okay, well that's going to have to be because this picture has that on there. Hopefully yours does not. And so now I click on that again to get back. And maybe I'll lessen up the effect, the vignette. Now that we got so much of that other thing on there. I need that. And I think we're pretty good. So there we go. Got our little Moody portrait there. And we're going to export this for a print version. So file, export. Now if you don't have 15,000 presets, oh, that's kind of funny. All right, so I'm going to choose a folder. I'm going to put it in my media files folder. So which is in my documents and not here. Oh, where? Oh, it's on that other. It's on the other computer, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to can't be media. You guys already have one of those. I'm going to choose that folder. Now for a print version, we don't really have to rename it, or yes, actually we do. So this is going to be DMA 1, 2, 3, whatever your class is, underscore, this could be portrait composite, so PC underscore your last name and then print. So it's going to be the print version. Okay, you'll be DMA, whatever the name of your class is, Digital Media Academy. Now it's going to be sRGB, JPEG, which we use for print. Okay, width and height. No, it's not going to be that. It's going to be 8.5 by 11. And these are IN, right, inches. Resolution 300. And let's see, bring this down for matte paper. And that's what we need. That's all we need. So this is our print export preset. So if you don't have that, you can go ahead and add it, and you can type in print and create, and then it'll be a preset, but I don't need another preset. So now I'm just going to export that. And bum. All right, so it's exported and we're golden. All right, great job. I can't wait to see your guys' work. It'll be fabulous. All right, take care now. Bye-bye.